Dear students, we have already covered all these topics: need for accounting, meaning and definition of accounting, characteristics of accounting, branches of accounting, difference between bookkeeping and accounting, objective, advantages. So these topics we have covered. Let us revise advantages of accounting. It is useful for the management in planning, controlling and decision making. It facilitates your memory. It's a complementary to the memory. Compliance with the legal requirements. Comparative study can be possible. Evidence in the court. Determines the net profit or net loss. Determines the financial position of the firm. Settlement of taxes. And if you want to sell your business, in that case also you need systematic accounting information, convenient in getting loans. Now, in spite of all these advantages, it has limitations also. So we will be studying limitations of accounting today. So let us start with the limitation. First limitation is biasness or biased. So it means the person who is recording, who maintains the record? Accountant, he is biased. So whatever he is recording, that information is incomplete or incorrect. For example, suppose he is recording less expenses. So what is the impact of this? If he is recording less expenses, this will lead to decrease in cost of production. And if cost of production reduces, it will lead to increase in profits of the firm. So in this way, he is manipulating the results. So this is also one of the biggest limitation of accounting, that accounting records are based on the perception of accountant, thinking of accountant. Now let us see the next one, window dressing. Now what is the meaning of window dressing? It means hiding the actual position. You are not giving the correct position to the users. So how you are hiding? We are showing, for example, we are showing that our debtors are, let us say, 25 lakhs. Who are the debtors? They are the customers. And they have purchased goods from, they purchased products on credit basis. So we are seller and they are buyers. Suppose we are showing that our debtors are 25 lakhs, and out of this 25 lakh, some of the debtors, if we analyze this, then some of the debtors are not existing. Let us say 5 lakh debtors have already quit the market, and likewise the position of remaining, let us say 10 lakhs is very weak. So what will happen in this case? But we are showing that we are having a debtors of 25 lakhs and we are not showing this correct position. So this way also we are not depicting the correct position. We are only doing window dressing. What is the impact? Or let us take another example. For example, when you value your closing stock, when you are valuing your closing stock, you are valuation of, there is a principle which is based for valuation of closing stock, which is cost price or market price, whichever is less. So we have to value our closing stock at lower of these two. For example, if cost price is, let us say, rupees 10,000, and against that market price is, let us say, 12,000. So which amount is lower out of these two? Yes, cost price is lower. So we'll value our closing stock at 10,000. I hope this is clear to you. Let us take another example, opposite case. If market price is let us say 9,000 and cost price is 10,000. Market price means this is the price at which these articles can be sold in the market. And what is the cost price? This is the cost of production plus a part of profit. So at which price you will be valuing? Yes, which is less out of these two? This price is less. So in this case, closing stock will be valued at 9,000. But what we are doing? We are showing closing stock at higher value just for the sake of window dressing, because we don't want to show closing stocks at lesser value. And here also we are showing closing stock at, in this situation also we are showing closing stock at higher value. So this way we are manipulating the records and doing window dressing. Now let us do the next one, estimated figures. See, there are some assets or some, you can say, properties which are based on estimations. Like for example, there is one asset named as goodwill. Goodwill means this is the reputation of the firm. So if you are, and reputation, you cannot measure the reputation, it is not measurable. Only it is based on estimation. So if you are writing goodwill at higher value, it will lead to profit, but your estimation is wrong estimation. And likewise, there is a name known as provision for doubtful debts. Provision for doubtful debts. In this we estimate that these many debtors may not turn up. So we can also manipulate this figure also. So these are based on our estimations. So these are not the exact figures. So in accounting we have to make certain estimations which may or may not be correct. So this is also a biggest limitation of accounting. Let us see the next one, value of the business. When will you value your business? Yes, you will value your business if you want to sell your business. For selling. But if suppose you called an evaluator, who is an evaluator, who will evaluate, who will value your business. So you called an evaluator and he said, yes, your building can be sold for, let us say, 1 crore. Then what will happen? You will feel very happy, yes, you will be able to sold it for 1 lakh. But when you are actually selling and called the buyers, when you are actually selling and called buyers and you are saying that pay 1 crore for this building, then do you think they are going to pay 1 crore? No, they will not pay even 50 lakhs for this building, because there is a difference between valuing the asset and actually selling. So that's why we used to say a good estimation, you can note down this point, a good estimation is the one which is very near to the actuals. Meaning is that whatever you are estimating, it should be very close to the actual, otherwise all your estimations will fail. It's of no use to make the estimation. So if you are valuing your business just like that, not for the purpose of selling. In that case, you won't be able to get the exact value. But when you are actually selling, going to the market and actually selling the business, then the things will be quite different. So this is also there. So you won't be able to get the correct saleable value of your business through accounting, because when you are actually going for selling, the things will change. You may get lesser price. But when you are valuing your business just to know the value of the business, in that case you may come with a higher value. Now next is price level changes. Now what is this price level changes? Every day we find that prices are going up. So we find that price level changes. So there is a different system of dealing with this kind of accounting. We used to follow inflationary accounting. Inflation accounting to deal with such kind of price level changes. But these types of changes are not there in this accounting. And the last one is absence of qualitative element of business. Now what is this absence of qualitative elements of business? See, accounting information will not tell you that yes, this product is very good, business is doing very well, or business is producing a very good quality product. This you won't be able to get. What sort of information you will be getting? How much is the cost of production, or what is the price of the product, what is the profit. So you will be able to get only quantitative type of information. Like for example, what is the price of the product, what is the cost of production, what is the profit earned by the firm. So this will not give you the correct picture. There is one more element which is known as historical cost. Historical records, you can say. Historical records means this is somehow based on a principle of true and fair. Like for example, suppose you are paying a rent of, let us say, suppose you are paying a rent of your building as rupees 50,000. This is the rent which you are paying. But the actual rent of that building is, let us say it is only 20,000 per month. But you have to record this because you are actually paying 50,000 and getting a receipt of 50,000. So this is a true, but this is not fair. Why this is not fair? Because actual rent is 20,000. So this is there in the historical records. So I hope these limitations of accounting must be clear to you. Now let us move to the next point. Next heading is accounting information. Accounting as a source of information. Let us see the meaning of this. Accounting is often regarded as the language of business. Language of business means the main aim of accounting is to serve as a means of communication. It serves as a means of communication. Accounting communicate the results of business activities to the user. So whatever you are doing in the business, the result of that is being conveyed to the users. Though we have already done the users or parties interested. What is the other name of this? Other name of this is the parties interested. So they are the users of accounting information. We can divide users into two parts: internal user and external user. Who are internal user? Who have direct interest in the business activities. Like for example, these are the management or owners, shareholders, those who have invested their money into the business as a owner. Normally you will find this in case of companies. Employees, so they have direct interest in obtaining the information, and other users of accounting information who are present or who have present or future interest in the business. So either they are presently interested in it, knowing the accounting information, or they are interested in knowing information for future interest. So first one is potential investors. So who are potential investors? Those who are planning to make investment in the business. So they have not invested yet. अभी तक invest नहीं किया, but they are planning. They are thinking of investing money in our business. So they are also interested in knowing the financial position or getting the accounting information. Banks, why banks are interested? Yes, because banks wants to know our status of assets or status of our properties, because we have given an application for obtaining loan from the bank. So that's why bank is taking interest in knowing our properties, so that we'll be able to repay bank loan with interest. See the next one. Financial institutions, same way. Creditors, who are the creditors? They are the suppliers of raw material. Suppliers of raw material. So why they are interested in knowing our performance? Because they have given us raw material on credit basis, and we are their customers. And supplier is a seller and business is a buyer. So we are buying goods from seller, and against that we are buying raw material, and against that we are making payment. So whether we will be buying raw material from them on regular basis or not, and if we purchase goods on credit, then whether we will be able to repay their money or not. So they are also interested in knowing our financial position. See the next one. Government, yes, you already know the government, role of government to take the taxes. Researchers, because they want to know the impact of particular policy on business. So for seeing that impact, they are doing a research on our business. Public or customer, because customer wants to know whether the money which business or price which business is taking from them, or whether the price which is paid by customer is genuine or not. It should not be that business is charging very high prices. What will happen if business is charging very high prices? You will lose the customer. Customer will buy the product from some other business. So that's why they are also interested. So in this case we are dividing our users into two parts, internal user and external user. So what we have done today, we have done the limitations of accounting. Let us revise. Biasness, window dressing, estimated figures are there, value of the business, you won't be able to get the correct value of the business. Price level changes, for that we have to adopt inflation accounting, absence of qualitative elements of business, and then historical records are maintained. Like for example, in this you can also take only the purchase price of an asset is recorded. After that, and this will continue in the books. So this is also one of the biggest limitations. So I hope whatever I have taught you today regarding accounting as an information, internal and external users, all these points are clear to you. So I will be giving you few more points in the next lecture. So till then, thank you. God bless you all.